Uh, Good afternoon, everybody. As Americans, we are being overworked. Change is needed, and the best way to go about this is with a 4-day work week. The United States is the most overworked developed nation in the entire world, according to 20-something Finance. 85% of males and 66% of females work over 40 hours a week. And research studies show if you're working 55 or more hours per week, this leads to a 33% increased chance of stroke. We as Americans are literally working ourselves to death. So the United States is the only OECD nation without guaranteed paid days off. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development compiles a list of some 25 countries every year to see how much their individual companies give their people guaranteed paid vacations. The highest amount is France with 30 guaranteed paid days off. That's an entire month's worth of paid vacation that every French citizen is guaranteed off. And the United States, way down over there, has a whopping 0 guaranteed days off. This really emphasizes the need for a change in America's work ethic.
Why the need for a change? There are a lot of factors that correspond and affect the need for change. Let's talk about the cost factor of change. The cost in relating to employers, employees, and the government as a whole. First of all, the cost in relating to employees, of which I stand for. Cost of commuting and transporting from one's home to the workplace is very excessive, and then we need to change that. And then, as in the process of commuting, we tend to pollute the environment, which has to change. And then that will decrease the environmental cost. Furthermore, the cost of producing new things affects the employers. Hence, we should decrease the number of hours we work. And then we can decrease the number of the percentage of utilities we use during a very work day, of which it's going to be decreased. Furthermore, unemployment rates is very high. Hence, we need to change something. We need to share in such a way that everyone gets a job. Not everyone, but most people get a job. And in doing so, we need to decrease the number of hours few people work so we can accommodate a lot of people in a business sector. Now let's talk about social life. There is an uneven balance between employees' social life and then the work. First of all, we tend to cut a lot, or we tend to take a pay cut, in order to save time for ourselves. Why don't we just go on and then have a 4-day work week and then a 3-day weekend, of which we can have ample time with our family members? There is less time men and then women in general have with their family. There is less commitments. There is no parents' love with their children due to excessive work, which isn't necessary. There is decreased motivation because we tend to work all the time rather than having a good time for ourselves. Hence, they need to be changed. Furthermore, there is decrease in employees' morale. Since there are a lot of time doing things over and over again, we tend to have less time for ourselves, and then we don't have a good relationship with ourselves and then the work. We have stressed people. We tend to be so stressed in such a way that we come to work all day trying to make ends meet for our families, whilst we are not having a very straight set of mind for ourselves. This affects our body, it affects ourselves as a whole, and then they need to be changed. Since there are ample time to work, there are 40 hours and over to work without having good time for ourselves, we tend to come to work with anger, and then there are a lot of disputes at work, which is unnecessary and decreases the number of productive time. If we have less time to work, there will be a very good productive line, of which time will be very efficient for us, and then productivity will be very good. There is less innovative productivity. There is no vision, since we have less time to think about ourselves and less time to think about the way forward. We tend to get ourselves stressed doing the same thing over and over again without doing something new. We tend to have less time for our careers, whilst we spend a lot of time trying to produce goods and services over and over again. Now, let's think about a business setting. Let's think about a situation whereby health conditions are increased, whereby there is increased productivity, whereby the environmental pollution is decreased, and then families and men are more inspired to take care of their children and take care of their family. There should be a policy to motivate and then make people better off, of which I vow for a change in time work.
Like what Matthew had mentioned before in one of his PowerPoint, he stated that American employees are literally working ourselves to death. So why not we just make a 40-hour work week into 32-hour work week? There's no government rule that say that you have to work 40 hours. A lot of business, they're afraid to make change. So why is it a good thing going from 40 hours to 32 hours? It reduces the time in the office, ultimately leads to an overall more productive work environment. The CEO of Treehouse, Carson, the online tutoring center, he did the experiment. So he went from a 40-hour to 32 hours work week. And during that time, he noticed that his employees are more happier and more productive. So that experiment became permanent. The productivity improves during the shorter day, and employees are less likely to take sick leave. According to Jonathan Elliott, the manager director, also stated that there are more positive effects on the company also. Stephen Oster, the CEO and founder of Tower Powder Boards, when he changed his hours, to work out from 40 to 32 hours, he was nervous. He think that his company would fail. So it's also one of the hardest decisions. And that decision became one of the best decisions. Why? Because employees are more happier, more productive, and they invest in the business.
At this point, you're probably wondering if there's anything that can actually be done to change the 5-day work week. The answer is yes. Believe it or not, you have a say in how your work week can be changed for the future. Let's take a look at how you can make a difference and influence how the average work week will look for the future. A great way to find others just like you who are looking to raise awareness and make a change is through online petitions. Even if the petition doesn't make a change right away, you're still taking part in educating those who do not know much on the subject. And you're also creating a platform that will enable yourself and others to be heard. Here's an example of an online petitioning site. This petition on change.org is for the 4-day work week. To the right of the screen, you see that there are 32 people who have signed this petition. You can also see that their goal is 100 people. Right underneath that, you'll see an easy way to sign the petition yourself online. And here's a brief description on why you should sign the petition and what it's all about. If you scroll down, you'll see that there's updates, if any, on the subject. Like right here it says, research study supporting 4-day work week. So there they'll send you a link for that research article. And at the very bottom, people can post their reasoning for why they signed the petition. So as you can see, this is a great way for people to come together and to petition for change. It's a great way for everybody to voice their opinion and to be heard. Another way you can make a difference is by starting at your own job. It doesn't hurt to try talking to your boss about how effective and more efficient a shorter work week might be for your company. Be sure that you're assertive and that you're fully informed on the issue before kindly approaching your boss. Think about the benefits for your boss and for your company rather than for your own benefit. You can also create a poll or a petition at work to help support your case. Remember, you and your coworkers have a say, and change is possible. Thank you.